Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Up right in corner we got Earob starting as the red Protoss. Bottom right in corner we got Streamline starting as the blue Protoss. Earob, a friend of the stream, he hops in here and there and actually asked me to do Gosuleague Tier 2 in the first place, which is one of the reasons I'm doing it. As a side note, per request, this is going to be on Radeon, larger macro-oriented map. PvP, and I'm kind of, so no offense to Earob or Streamline, but I'm kind of glad that there's PvP here to start. To maybe thin the... It's kind of one of those things where if it's a mixed matchup, we want the not Protoss race to advance potentially. We don't want all the Protoss to get eliminated. We just want to see like a good balance of things moving forward. Kind of an interesting glut of... It's not... It seems it's all... Okay, I digress. At the very, very top in the foreigner community outside of China, it's definitely Bonneth and DeWalt, and then Zeke in third. I don't know that it hasn't always been that way. But I will say, across all of the BSL leagues, there just seems to be a prolific amount of Protoss players. And I know that, I think it might be because of the satisfaction in playing Protoss. I think in Zerg, that just, you gotta learn micro tricks. And then kind of, I feel like with Zerg, there's a lot of multitasking you really need to learn, and then kind of juggling of and kind of fast responses more than anything. And I mean fast responsive, like click at the drone there pretty quickly, like, oh, they did this, now I need to all in right here, and then decisiveness that's on top of that. With Terran, there's a lot of interesting micro and army troop movement stuff. Build orders you need to know, troop movement stuff you need to know. With Protoss, I feel like, double gateway here to start, by the way. There's a lot, I mean, there's cleverness, there's build orders, but it feels like there's just a lot of satisfactory micro units, like the Dark Templar, like the Corsair, like Psystorm, where it's like click, do a lot of damage, and a lot of times, and I think there's just like a visceral satisfaction. So maybe that is why there's so many Protoss players at this stage. I actually am going to say that this is the map dictated, perfectly balanced game. I think if you can switch who is decidedly going to win by a fraction of a percentage based on how the map is set up, it's a balanced game. Anyway, Streamline opting for double gate. He has scattered the opponent first, so he's gonna, so additional bonus on top of that. We do have a safety zealot being constructed. Let's see if a second zealot is queued up. I kind of like building a second zealot defense in the dark on occasion. My suspicion is we are just going to see a Dragoon in the midst of this, because we do have the Cybernetics core. Right now, no information, and first three zealots are going to be queued up. We do have an assimilator in the space of this, so rather than a full dedication, it's just to try to get some early probe kills. I've been seeing a lot of Protoss players go for this variation as of late. I think when... I'm not going to call it like the official Bonneth. I feel like when Bonneth is executing the 2-gate, more often than not what he is doing is he is waiting with the scouting information to see what he's going to go for. Probe, by the way, has been wiped out. Earob sees the 3 zealots on the ground, so knows what he's up against. Well, let's check his variation on the defense. Dropping another pylon to the corner. He's got... the Dragoon should march out. He's got range queued up as well. This is a long distance to march. Doesn't look like he's going for a Manor pylon. In the space of this, is just going to walk the Dragoon down and queue the second Dragoon up right this second. The Zealot's going to go ahead and push back. These Zealots not going to take some shots they could get on this Dragoon. The Dragoon doing a pretty good job blocking. Wow, that Zealot actually going full range back. So we got 2 shield shredded Zealots, but otherwise fairly healthy, which means they potentially can get shots on the probe line, and that is really what they're here to do, is to try to bully their way into the probe line, get as many probe kills as possible before they can get wiped out, and then play the game from there. One zealot's cleared out. Probes trying to defend themselves. It looks like one probe has. 2 probes have been wiped out. And it works out fairly well because even at a distance, you end up with the 2 Dragoons as far as a follow-up and not a lot of counterattack opportunity at a distance. 1-gate robotics, Earob with the response. The probe making its way back down to go ahead and check. Needs to be careful. Is going to just get swatted and explode. But able to spot it was a 2 Dragoon follow-up. Would have loved to see it actually sit at the natural and wait and spot if that's going on. Okay, second gateway dropped with range. So 2-gate robo. As far as a follow-up, is Streamline going to go for robotics? Or is he just going to go 2-gate into expand right this second and ignore the possibility of DT? He didn't show any, there wasn't any indication of DT on the map right this second. Another probe making its way out wants to try to confirm what it can. Dragoons checking to make sure whether whether or not there was a scout that was making additional maneuvers. The next question is, Earob just going to go to observer and play it from here, or is he going to go robotics first? He's going to get the observatory respect DT play. Dragoons continuing to be constructed, by the way, in the space of this for Streamline. Is waiting on range. Looks like he has not made any maneuvers towards robotics facility as of yet, so it looks like it is just going to be 2-gate into expand. Has the minerals to drop it, but is waiting right the second, and he sees that it's an empty base and nothing on the low ground in the meantime, so he doesn't have a full read on the build order. Looks like he's hesitating to drop the Nexus just in case. Lost the probe, but got a look at the army size. The thing is oftentimes Protoss will dedicate a lot of their army here on the corner, and that can give you an idea that you're the gateway size you're up against. With that many, you'd expect 2-gate. Looks like he's going to send another probe up to try to get confirmation. Observer is out. We do have the robotic support bay in the midst of this, and a Reaver queued up behind this. Dragoons fanning out here from Streamline. He is getting the robotic support bay himself, but because of scouting, missed an opportunity as far as his spot in the and not able to get the follow-up scout. Missed an opportunity in the build order to maybe get a much more rapid Nexus. It looks like he is going to go ahead and drop that Nexus now. Earob pretty far behind as far as the build order, just raw build order goes right this second. So he's going to drop the Nexus. He's going to have the Reaver, so he'll be able to defend it, but he's still down 2 workers. The big advantage for him is this Observer, which is going to have free reign to go ahead and wander up and confirm the natural expansion, confirm the Dragoon count, and it could even dive in and get a good look at the gateway numbers, as well as the state of the robotics facility. Although this is kind of danger town for this Observer. Might be thinking there's like a counter Observer built already. 3rd gateway's been dropped, and a 4th gateway dropped here from Streamline ahead of that Nexus. So Earob has an eyefall, knows where he needs to be on the builder. I do believe that delays and a 5th gateway. Wow. Unfortunately, that one was not spotted. Still, so it looks like it's going to be very, very gateway heavy for Streamline. He wants to go for just a mass Dragoon force. Earob is going to end up with the overall Reaver advantage, but right now going to be a little bit light. This is going to open up a potential attack, I think at around the 9 minutes, somewhere around there, and ends up, you end up with the timing off the 5-gate. But what you're hoping for is to catch Reavers in small numbers or out of position in the space of this. Observer's going to wander its way up to go ahead and scout things. Earob, his Nexus actually coming down not too far behind Streamline's, and he's managed with all of the production that's been happening for Streamline. He's actually managed to keep the supply count fairly close, and workers actually pulled ahead in workers. His big problem right now is 3 gateways is more than enough to make up for Reavers, unless you get that Reaver damage upgrade and have a lot of luck otherwise. Streamline going ahead and checking the area out. Looks like Earob moving forward with an additional spot. Yeah, 5 gateway production. I'm a little bit surprised that the supply count is not higher right here for Streamline. I wonder if he missed. Could just be off. I could just be off as far as what the construction is. He's piling into the base, expecting a drop. Looks like a Reaver and a Zealot are making their way out on the map. Some Dragoons just kind of wide out on the map right this second. But it's still, okay, now we have the 3rd and 4th gateway coming online. But should be a sizable 10-15 supply lead for Streamline. He's got, is this a broken replay? He's got Dragoons scattered all over the place. This almost looks like a broken replay. Let's see if it pans out here. But looks like he's trying to gather up his troops for, yeah, what would be kind of more the standard attack grouping. Could be they just were caught on a weird rally or something along those lines. The Observer does catch the edge, of these units making their way out. So big army there, big army out to the corner, and unfortunately for Streamline, nothing there to defend his natural expansion. So a lot of probes getting annihilated. And Earob should be able to escape with that Reaver. More probes trying to escape. Honestly, Earob's already done critical damage with the Reaver. What he's got to survive is the counterattack with the supply differential. So Reaver's wiped out. Does he have? He's got 2 more Reavers on the low ground. He is working off 5 gateways himself. As far as a follow-up, the shuttle is going to exit as well. And now Streamline's just massively, massively behind economically. But if you deduct 20 supply here, he's got a pretty formidable army. The problem is it doesn't have any Reavers in it. You've got the Scarab damage upgrade coming in not too long from now. And a pocket where Reavers, if you group up too well, they can do really good damage, a lot of splash damage. Now here's the thing, does Earob defend? Because Streamline's gotta attack into this. I don't think he should wait for +1 weapons. It looks like right this second he might be thinking about waiting for +1 weapons. The longer you wait, the more opportunity you're giving your opponent to get more units out on the map. And right now Streamline sitting back, he lost a huge volume. I still wonder if this is a broken replay with the troop movements that are happening here. Hopefully we'll get some sort of indication of what happened down the line. I think this might just be the units freaking out on themselves. It's so hard to tell with Brood War. But anyway, okay, this is looking more normal now. Yeah, Streamline going for the all attack. Does manage to absorb the initial 2 shots. Barreling in. The shuttle is there to provide some support. Another shuttle making its way in to act as a decoy. Streamline recognizing he's not going to get the better of the attack at the natural expansion, so pulling right back out. 6 gateway dropping for Earob. Earob now has a massive supply lead, also has an army lead, also has Reavers in speed shuttles with that Scarab damage upgrade, which just obliterates units. Absolutely obliterates units, and Streamline gonna GG right there. So game 1 goes to Earob convincingly. I still wonder if that might have been a broken replay or not, but we're gonna count it regardless. Earob up 1-0. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.